hello everyone. Welcome back to Sip and Talk with Mslonda. I have a very special guest joining me this evening. I have Terrence with Petty Murphy Project. Hello, Terrence. How are you? Welcome to the platform.
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Is your camera on?
Yeah, hold on. You see my camera's going on. Hold on. Hold on. Where's the camera? Oh, my camera should be on. Hold on.
I don't see you on the screen.
Hold on real quick.
Yeah. Give me a second here.
You know how technology is.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Face in front. Face in back. Now we want the front camera.
Okay, I see it.
There we go. The front camera. There we go. There we are.
All right. So you are doing a press release, like a press tour, and is this for
That's
your
correct.
new movie coming out?
I'm doing the press tour pretty much for the As Petty as I Want to Be movie that is being filmed by my good friend out of LA, who's from Kansas City, Mr. Jermaine Tashi Thomas. We've been planning this for the last 2 years, and it's time. It's time for me to get back onto the stage and tell my truth. Talk my shit, but a lot of people got me. How can I say this? They got me confused and got me pretty much fucked up. So we came up with this idea. It's like, you're going to have to be as petty as you want to be. You know, the name Petty Murphy stands for something, and my comedy speaks for itself. So we're going to basically do a movie, and we're going to tell my entire story from me living here in Kansas City to where my bloodline started. And we're going to end this movie in Los Angeles.
Okay. All right. And so, are you able to say the name of the movie?
Yes. The movie the movie is named As Petty as I Want to Be. Because I'm not really a petty person in real life, but when it comes to speaking that truth, and we know that there are a lot of people that hate to hear what they demand the most, and that's the truth.
Right.
And when you gotta speak that real and tell that real, you gotta be petty with it. And a lot of people is like, want to write me off and everything else too. But I gotta tell my truth, and I want to be petty as hell when I do it too. Is because the truth hurts. But yeah, it's the number one thing that everybody wants to demand. And so, with the name of this movie, that's what this tour is going to be about. This tour is basically going across the country to different cities, linking up with different artists, different comedians, different crowds, and let them know what's up. Because we've seen the entertainment game how it is. Everything's about clout chasing, gatekeeping, and a bunch of bullshit. And when you try to do things the right way, by giving artists, opportunity to make money, giving comedians opportunity to make money, but also letting them know about opportunity itself. Because a lot of people want to get into the game and think that it's all about the money. It's not about the money. Never been about the damn money. It's always about the opportunity. And if you don't respect the opportunity, you ain't gonna make no money. So it's best to basically work with somebody who understands the game, knows the game, and understands that, we're all in this together. There's too much hate going around in this country and in this world that people lost their damn mind. That there's no transparency and nobody wants to be honest in this business. And that's pretty much what this tour is going to be about. I'm going to expose a lot of truth that's not being told. Because you know what they say. The game is to be sold, not to be told.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of truth in the industry is what you're referring to, though, correct?
Yeah, there's a lot of truth in the industry, especially the underground industry, that is not being told. There's just too many people just want to keep people down because there's millions of talented people in this entertainment industry, and a lot of people don't get those opportunities. And I've seen it mostly in the female game. Female, especially that do music, that or rap and everything like that, do modeling. You got all these dudes talking about they can do this and do that for them, but all they want to do is have sex with them. They want to sleep with them,
Right.
and that's bullshit. And a lot of females think that they got to sell them bodies just to get into the business. You don't need to necessarily do that, and that goes for men too. You ain't got to sell your soul to achieve your goal. And what people need to understand is that there's people like me that will open up the opportunity for them and for them to gain that knowledge and to gain that experience without taking anything from them. All I ask for these artists to do is to invest in themselves. Because if you invest in yourself, somebody will invest in you. And
Yeah.
when people invest in you, it's because they see the talent that you have. They don't want to take advantage of that. But a lot of people just don't get it. I get a lot of artists hit me up a lot saying I want to get an opportunity. So you break down the opportunity to them. You tell them what they're getting. You tell them, hey, you're gonna get a certain amount of tickets for a certain amount of price. But here's the thing: when you sell the tickets, that money's yours. You keep that money. It's because you hustle for it. There's too many promoters also just basically charge these artists to jump on the show, sell them out of tickets, but bring the money back to them. And these artists don't get shit. At least you put something back in their pocket because time is money. Neither one can be wasted. So, with me telling the truth about it, there's more in depth I'm gonna get into that on my journey. But there's a lot of truth that's not being told, and there's a lot of fake ass people saying they can do this and that need to be exposed. And especially those who call themselves world-renowned DJs and image consultants and all that other shit. Nah, y'all just clowns. Y'all just clowns in the damn circus. And basically, it makes it harder for talented people like myself to even get an opportunity. So instead of me basically trying to fight against the system, I'm fighting to change the system by creating my own system.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. All right, and not only are you working on a movie, but you also have your own podcast. And if I can remember correctly, your podcast is on the go. Correct? Like you have a truck that you set up and you podcast on the road.
Yes, I do. I have the Petty Murphy Project, which is 3 years old this week.
Okay, congratulations.
We started during the pandemic. I started with another comedian and another person that's in entertainment and construction. So it's 3 people. And you know how things go when things get going. Among partners, they think that one is getting all the money and all this other stuff too. So it fell apart with the 3 agreements. But I started this podcast, and I was going to finish it. I got the Petty Murphy Project basically running off thanks to my good friend, my famo down in Mslonda, Oklahoma, Mr. Robert Allen Parker, aka the Mister from Famo Nation Forever Radio. And he and the Famo Nation in 2019 say, hey, Petty Murphy needs to have his own show. So they put the idea to me. I tried to put the show together in 2019. but things didn't work out. But then the pandemic, or I like to call it the pandemic, happened.
I know
And when I
that
couldn't
plan.
go out to entertain people, I had that sitting in my back pocket. And it's like, I'm going to start my own podcast. The rest is history. So the Penny Murphy Project has done is that, especially, just when you're talking about the issue, I basically opened up the door for artists, underground artists, to get their music played. And it's worked because it's gone on multiple platforms. It has helped several artists get their names out there with opportunities and change their lives. And one thing that I tell these artists that want to get on my platform is get their music heard. Because this is being heard on many platforms across the country and across the world. Heard in 70 plus countries. And to get that worldwide notice, to get people to notice you, I tell artists, hey, look, you can go on these other platforms. You can go to the radio station. They're going to charge you and probably play your song once between $5 to $1,000 just to get your song played one time. You might not even get it played one time. I tell them, hey, you pay me $25, send me an audio drop to the Penny Murphy Project at gmail.com alongside that MP3 or WAV file. I will play your music. I will get my affiliates to play your music. It's it's work. And it's work. And if artists can understand that, you invest in yourself when people invest in you. I've had an artist hit me up that was on Facebook on one of the groups looking to get interviewed for his tour and all his other stuff too. So I told him what the requirements were. He gonna tell me, oh nah man, I got a bigger fan base than that whatsoever. I was like, all right, it's cool. It's cool. But what it told me is to tell artists straight up, don't get the proverbial big head. Because what you're doing today can be taken away from tomorrow. Remember,
Yeah,
we didn't come looking for you. People like me don't come for you. You came looking for us.
yeah,
So when we're looking for someone to interview you, you're gonna have to meet their requirements to get on there because once again, time is money. Neither one can be wasted. So if you're talking about you want tour, you got the bigger fan base whatsoever, then pay the fee to get booked, promote the show. Like we're gonna promote the show. I'm gonna promote the show and get your people to tune in. One investment can bring a whole lot of awareness. And that's what the Penny Murphy Project is designed for.
exactly. Okay, all right. I just wanted to piggyback. I noticed you said the pandemic. I noticed you said that. What did you mean by that?
The pandemic is because look what has happened in 3 years. Everybody had to learn how to adapt. No, we couldn't go to work. We had to work from home. Kids had to go to work from school. Couldn't do shit. So the pandemic was, I like to call it, is because I had to learn how to adapt. I had to change how I was and how I'm doing things. So I had to come up with a plan in order to survive. And look what's happened in the last 3 years. Vaccine, things still opening back up. Eggs is high as hell. Nick Cannon's on his 15th baby. Inflation and everything else too. And I call it the pandemic is because the pandemic forced people like you and me to adapt and make changes
Yeah.
to the game, to the game, not only to the entertainment game, but to us. So I call it the pandemic is because I didn't plan for COVID to happen to put things there, but I also had to make a plan to basically provide.
Okay. All right. And so, what do you want to get into a little bit of your story?
Yeah, my story's like this. I'm I grew up here in Kansas City. Um, my mom and dad had me when they were young. They were 17 years old. My dad went off to the military. My mom was young. So, I was basically mostly raised by my grandmother. And my grandmother, God rest her soul, my grandmother was one of the first black nurses inside Mendon General Hospital in Mendon, Louisiana. My grandmother worked very hard to raise six children. I had my grandfather around and everything else too. So I had a very good upbringing. And the number one thing that my grandmother taught me before she passed was to get something behind your last thing besides hay. What that meant was you have to work hard for what you want. Don't take shit from nobody, but learn, get an education. Get something behind the name, get that degree. So, learning the background, and learning from her, I'm able to do what I'm doing. Now, I have eight other siblings on my mother's side. I am my father's only child on his side. But, I learned from my mom. My mom struggled to raise six children and then became seven with my baby brother, whose birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday to my little brother Treyon. And then, the rest of us became grown. So, and then, I got two younger sisters. So, my mom, I watched my mom struggle, but she had my stepdad, and I respect him as well too. So, my struggle comes from seeing my family. So, I grew up when my grandmother moved us out of Kansas City, Missouri, and moved us over here into Olathe, Kansas, where I currently reside. It was a whole new world. Basically, this is the richest county in Kansas. This is like one of the richest counties in America. So I had basically grew up in the suburbs up until I was 12, and then I moved back to the hood. So when it comes to the struggle and learning how to live the high society, I understand both worlds. That's why I speak so intelligently and very so articulately is because of the education that I gained from, basically hanging out with white kids, learning their language, and then growing up in the hood. So I speak fluently, ghetto, and no respect for and customer service voice. I speak fluently very well. And my story led me to doing comedy. I went to school for journalism, got my degree. But, it was like I was having no direction whatsoever. Working a 9 to 5 job, basically just kicking it. I'm in my early mid 20s. So everybody, my friends down in Wichita, Kansas, before I graduated high school in 2001, they were like, "Man, you need to do comedy, man." And I kept telling them, like, "Come on, no, I don't need to be doing comedy." It's like, why not? It's like, if you give me a microphone, it's like giving Saddam Hussein the weapons of mass destruction that Bush couldn't find. So years later, my friends just kept going to me, and everybody knows peer pressure is a motherfucker. So one New
Yeah.
Year's Eve, went to a friend's parents' house for a New Year's party, and everybody was saying their New Year's resolution. This is in 2008, getting ready to go into 2009. Everybody had their New Year's resolution. So it came my turn. So I said, man, I'm going to do this stand-up comedy shit. Matter of fact, we going to go to the Looney Bin at the comedy club down in Wichita. And we're going this Wednesday. And I told my friends, all you motherfuckers is coming with me. And my first time going on stage, which it happens to the great one, I bombed. But I didn't let that deter me because I love public speaking. But I like to call talking shit. They like to call it public speaking. But I like to tell the truth when I do this shit. I kept going back. I kept going back. So I got into the finals of the Wichita Funniest Person contest in 2009. I didn't win, but it let me know that, hey, I got a gift that was blessed by God. Now, how do you parlay it into a career? And that's what I did. I parlayed it into a career for the remaining 8 years that I stayed in Wichita until I decided that it was time for me to move back home. And I
Okay.
came home, been home for the last 5 years. And now that I got the Teddy Murphy project where it needs to be, I have interviewed Hollywood legends such as Bruce Valanche from Hollywood Squares, who hosted the Oscars. No, he wasn't the host of the Oscars. He was a producer for the Oscars for 45 years. Larry Hankin from Breaking Bad. Billy Madison. Planes, Trains, Automobiles, and Money Talk. Um, I've interviewed a lot of people, whether it's from artists, underground artists, to authors, to Hollywood people,
Okay.
and I have basically have taken that mindset. Hard work pays off, and now it's time for me to tell my full story, and I'm going to do it on the road. And my dream is to go to Hollywood. The final stop is Hollywood. And it's because there's a lot of shit that we see going on that Hollywood is making money off of. We don't even know it.
Oh, correct. Okay. All right. And so, when does your movie drop? Like, when will it air?
The movie will the movie will drop. We're going to try to finish this movie between late July, early August. We're going to submit this to several film festivals, including the Danny Glover Film Festival in New York. We're working on a distributor right now between Tubi and Netflix to where we're going to distribute this movie to. So it should be dropping by the fall. But we going on tour starting June 23rd.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. And so, on your application, you mentioned speaking on the culture. What are some things that you would like to share about the culture?
Number one, we got to quit following what other motherfuckers do on social media. Two, stop hating on motherfuckers on social media. Just because somebody else is doing something good, you ain't got to hate on them. Congratulate them. You don't learn some shit. Number three, stop capping on social media. Half of you motherfuckers that be capping on social media ain't about that life. I'll tell you that now. I ain't about that thug life. But if I gotta fight a motherfucker, whether I get my ass kicked or not, I'm gonna fight you motherfuckers. I'm not down with that motherfucking gun bullshit. Everybody wanna pull out a motherfucking gun instead of taking an ass whooping. Look here. I'd rather take a fucking ass whooping than a fucking damn court charge. Murder charge. I would not sit there and want to sit behind an 8 by 10 jail cell when I can have my freedom 24/7. That shit gotta fucking stop. Two, stop doing these stupid ass, dumb ass challenges. Like, eat Tide Pods and shit. Stop that shit. Like, stop it. Stop it. And another thing. If you have a baby mama or a baby daddy, stop bashing them. You slept with them. You knew they weren't shit when you met them. You should have ran away. Don't hurt you because you hurt the kid. That's what the number one thing y'all fucking forget. Y'all bash each other. Your kids see that. Stop bashing your damn baby mama and your baby daddy. Mother's Day is May 13th, 14th. Don't do that shit. But the number one thing I really want to change about this culture is we quit following what we see on social media. We need to stop hating on one another. Black, white, Latino, Asian, gay. Stop it. Because we can all say Black Lives Matter. Blue lives matter. White lives matter. All lives matter. Whatever. We can say all that shit. But the number one thing that we need to understand is that the human race matters. And without the human race, none of us exist. We're Mars. Nobody exists. And we need to change the fucking culture. Television. All you see on television is, don't get me wrong, I watch this shit because it's good shit. I watch Power. I watch
Right.
Snowfall. But then it's all teaching about the damn drug game. I watch BMF. But I watch BMF to learn the damn story. Even though half the shit that they say in the damn TV show is not true. Watch the documentary on Stars, everybody. But it's about the drug game. And we got too many kids dying out here of the drug game, whether it's through the drug or selling the drug. We got too many cops out here killing our own damn black men, young black women. You know, it's just too much going on. We need to change that culture. Because how the fuck can you sit there and scream unity? How can you sit there and scream unity when you hate on one another? That's that
Correct.
bullshit. And the number
Yeah.
one thing that we lost, you can't scream unity if there's no family. We gotta bring families back. You know, ever since Big Mama, Grandma, Grandpa died, families are separated. Families need to come together every week instead of a funeral when a loved one died. We need to come together. If we bring back that unity amongst the family, you can bring the unity amongst the community, and you can bring that unity amongst the culture. It's an awkward conversation, but we gotta have it in order to survive.
That is that is true. I agree. All right. So before we get out of here, would you like to tell everybody where they can find you and if you do interviews or you know?
Yes. You guys can basically, if you're a music artist and you got dope music that needs to be heard, look, I'm only charging a one-time $25 fee that gets you unlimited spin on the Petty Murphy Project, which is on Amazon, Apple Music, Spotify, all these other platforms I'm on, worldwide, 70 plus countries. All you have to do is submit an audio drop, your MP3 or WAV file to the Petty Murphy Project at gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/the Petty Murphy Project or my regular page at facebook.com/Jimmy is back. You can follow me on TikTok at the Petty Murphy Project. Instagram at the Petty Murphy Project. We'll be back doing interviews April 22nd. So if you want to get an interview, I'll be partnering up with my the Mister from Famo Nation Forever Radio. April 22nd, we got an interview with the CEO of Africans Helping Africans, Lamar Callahan. Y'all may want to tap into that. Just go to facebook.com/the Petty Murphy Project. But artists, holla at me. Because if you get on the Petty Murphy Project and your music is slamming, my director and his producer for the soundtrack might be hollering at you. We're here to change the game and change lives. So holla at me.
All right. Well, I would like to thank you for this interview, and I enjoyed this, and hopefully we can do this again. Thank everybody who jumped in the comments and shared their thoughts. You guys all have a good night. Happy Easter, everyone.
You too. Thank you.
All
And
right.
stay at Dark Valley.
All right.